Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. You all are welcome. The resources for this lessons are multimedia, some pictures, model, textbook, worksheet. Following are the objectives of today's lesson. At the end of the lesson, students will be able to enlist any three organs involved in excretion and state their function, draw a labeled diagram of human excretory system, elaborate the process of excretion with one example. For engagement of students and to check their previous knowledge, some questions will be asked that are: what are tissues, what is organ and organ system, what are different organ systems that are working in human body. As we all know, there are different systems working in human body. For example, respiratory system, circulatory system, nervous system, digestive system, excretory system, and reproductive system. Any one of you can tell me which system is responsible for excretion? Among these systems, excretory system is responsible for excretion. So our today's topic is human excretory system. Human excretory system is basically called urinary system or urinary tract or renal tract. First of all, we should know what is excretion. Excretion is basically the removal of waste products. In living organism and cell, the process of eliminating or expelling waste materials from the body. Excretion refers to the removal of waste products of metabolic pathways from the body. The breakdown of proteins, amino acids, the waste are ammonia, urea, and uric acid. These are the metabolic byproducts that are formed. Metabolic waste molecules are the byproduct of chemical reactions within the body, and we all know the urea and uric acid, ammonia, they are toxic, so these are excreted. Mammals such as human, they excrete urea, while the birds, reptiles, and other animals, they excrete uric acid. The urine is made of excess water and salt that are taken in the food, and this excretion is done by the system that is called excretory system. Excretory system is a biological system that removes waste from the body of an organism. Organs that are involved in excretory system. Following are the organs that are involved in excretory system: kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder, ring of muscle, urethra. There are 2 kidneys present in uretary system, 2 ureters, 1 bladder, and ring of muscle. Ring of muscle is basically form of internal and external sphincters. They mutually made a ring around the bladder that is called the ring of muscle, and 1 urethra. Now one by one we will discuss their size, location, and their function, that what functions and roles they are responsible to perform in human excretory system. The first organ is kidneys. There are 2 kidneys in human beings. They are bean shaped. You can see their shape is like a bean, and they are reddish brown organs. Their length is about 10 to 12 centimeters. Position, you can see in the figure, this is the position of the kidneys below the rib cage, just above your waist at the back. Each kidney is about 4 to 5 inches long, roughly the size of a large fist. The kidney's job is to filter your blood. They remove waste and they make urine. The basic function of kidney is to make urine, but kidneys have many other important functions, like they filter extra water and waste so they can able to produce urine. They remove waste products from the body. They balance the fluids in the body. They release the hormones. Some hormones are released by the kidneys that regulate the blood pressure. They also produce vitamin D that is helpful for healthy bone growth. So these are the other functions that are performed by the kidney, but their basic function is to produce urine by filtration of the blood, and it removes waste products. Ureters. Ureters are the hollow tubes. There are two ureters. You can see in the figure these red color, they are ureter. The ureters are tubes that are made of smooth muscle fibers that propel urine from the kidneys to the urinary bladder. Their length and diameter is given here. It is 25 centimeter in length and 3 millimeter in diagram. But this is not specific. It can be about 25 to 30 centimeter or 3 to 4 in their diameter. It is different in different human beings. Their main function is that they are helpful in passing the urine from kidneys to the bladder. There is no extra function of ureter. Urinary bladder. Urinary bladder is a hollow organ, and when it is empty, it looks like a shape of a pear. It is a hollow muscular organ that is made of elastic muscles. It is a muscular sac. Its position is about behind the pubic bone. In our pelvis region, behind the pubic bone, the urinary bladder is present. Its function is to collect and stores the urine. As kidneys make the urine and urinary bladder stores the urine, there is a ring present that is made by external and internal sphincters around the bladder. The ring of muscle is helpful for keeping the urine in your bladder until you go to the toilet. In children of age 2 years or below than 2 years, they have no control on their sphincters, but adults have control on their sphincters, and a ring of muscle that is present at the base of your bladder keeps the bladder closed until you go to the toilet. The last part of urinary system is urethra. Urethra is a tube, and its function is to remove the urine from the bladder to outside of the body. The urethra is a thin fibromuscular tube that begins at the lower opening of the bladder and extends to the out of the body. Its size is different in males and females. In females it is about 1.5 inches. It means the females have shorter urethra than males, and in males it is about 8 inches. That is about 20 centimeters in males. The urethra also connected to the ducts that are responsible for ejaculation of the sperms in males. So this is the function of urethra, that it removes the urine from bladder to outside of the body. As we have discussed the human excretory system, we can have different examples of many mammals and reptiles, birds, their urinary system. As we all know, frog have all the system that are alike to human beings. They resemble to human beings. So the first example is the excretory system of male frog. You can see here in the dark brown color, these are the kidneys, and the tubes are there. These are the ureters. They are curly white tubes. They are folded. You can see here these are the kidneys. Among them the testes and other glands are present. It means their urinogenital system is combined. This is rectum and this is bladder is present here. Next example is here of line. You can see clearly this system is very clear. It has two kidneys that are present here, the tubes from where the urine travel from kidneys to the bladder. These tubes are called ureters, and this is the bladder, that is hollow muscular organ. Can anyone tell me the storage capacity of the bladder? That how much urine can a bladder store? The storing capacity of the bladder is about 400 to 600 ml. So the bladder can store this amount of urine. And urine is basically composed of 95% of the water, and 5% is the other electrolytes and other materials. And this is the urethra, from where they remove the urine from the body. Now it's time to class activity. It's very interesting and very easy activity. You just have to write your names, and the word bank is given. You just have to put the words in the given blanks. Number 1 is dash is mixture of urea and water. Number 2, dash 2 ducts where urine travel to bladder. A pair of bean-shaped organs. A muscular bag that hold urine. You have to tell what's that organs means. Number 5th, dash is about 20 centimeter in males and 4 centimeter in females. And you know that 20 centimeter means 8 inches. In the second part of this worksheet, you have to just label this diagram, that is of human excretory system. There are organs are shown to you, and you have to label these organs. You have 10 minutes for your activity. After completing the activity, some questions will be asked. The questions are: define excretion with one example. Question number 2, which organs are involved in human excretory system? What is the function of ureters? What is the function of urinary bladder? And what are the functions of urethra? After the questions, let me recap today's lesson. Today we have studied human excretory system. The excretory system include the following organs: kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder, ring of muscle, and urethra. First of all, what is excretion? In living organism and cells, the process of elimination or expelling waste material is the excretion. Excretion refers to the removal of waste products of metabolic pathways from the body. The removal from the body of metabolic waste from the cells, tissues, and blood is the function of kidneys. The metabolic waste molecules are the byproducts of chemical reaction within the body. These waste molecules are toxic in some forms and must not be allowed to accumulate in the tissues. So they should be removed by the system, that is human excretory system. Nitrogenous waste in the body tend to form toxic ammonia, urea, and uric acid. Mammals such as humans, we excrete urea, while the birds, reptiles, and some other invertebrates, they produce uric acid as a waste. Now we have discussed kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder, ring of muscle, and urethra and their functions. kidneys. Human have 2 kidneys that are just above the waist at the back. Each kidney is about 4 to 5 inches long, roughly the size of your large fist. The kidney's job is to filter your blood and remove waste, and it is also helpful to secreting some hormones. The ureters, the 2 tubes that are present. The ureters are the tubes made of smooth muscle fibers that propel urine from the kidney to the urinary bladder. And we have discussed the size length of the ureters. There is 25 to 30 centimeter long, and their diameter was 3 to 4 millimeter. Ring of muscle that is present at your urinary bladder that keeps the urine stored in the bladder until you go to the toilet. The urinary bladder. The urinary bladder is a muscular sac, an elastic organ. The last part was urethra. Urethra is the last in the urinary system. It removes the urine out of the body from the bladder. It is a thin fibromuscular tube that begins at lower opening of the bladder and extends through the pelvic, and it removes the urine out of the body. This is basically the process of urination. This can be summarized by a video to clear your concepts.
These are a pair of reddish bean-shaped organs. Blood collects the waste from all over the body, and when that blood goes through the kidneys collect these waste from the blood and form urine. No, 95% of urine is just water. The kidneys are formed of small nephrons which filter blood. From the kidneys, the urine goes into 2 tubes, the ureters, and then it gets stored into the urinary bladder for a short time. It is passed out through the urinary opening at the end of a muscular tube called the urethra. This process of eliminating harmful substances from the body of living organism is called excretion. In short, the human excretory system comprises of kidneys, which are a pair of reddish bean-shaped organs, 2 tubes called ureters, a urinary bladder that stores urine, and a urethra which passes out the urine.
As we have seen this video, इस वीडियो में क्लियरली दिखाया गया है. सबसे पहले हमें किडनीज की पोजीशन के बारे में पता चल रहा है और कि कौन कौन से ऑर्गन एक्सक्रीटरी सिस्टम्स में इन्वॉल्व हैं. इसमें 2 किडनीज इन्वॉल्व हैं और दे आर बीन शेप्ड. इसमें 2 यूरेटर्स हैं जिससे यूरिन किडनीज से यूरिनरी ब्लैडर में आता है. ये आप देख सकते हैं, ये ब्लड फिल्ट्रेशन हो रही है. ये किडनी का इनर स्ट्रक्चर है जो कि हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में डिस्कस करेंगे. जिस तरह से ये फिल्टर्स दिखाया गया है, इसमें नेफ्रॉन्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं जिससे इसकी फिल्ट्रेशन का प्रोसेस होता है. इसमें यूरेटर्स हैं. जब यूरिन की फॉर्मेशन हो जाती है तो वो यूरेटर से यूरिनरी ब्लैडर में आता है. यूरिनरी ब्लैडर में ये स्टोर होता है जिसकी कैपेसिटी हमने पढ़ा था 400 to 600 ml होती है. और जब ये कैपेसिटी कंप्लीट हो जाती है वी नीड टू गो टू द toilet, and there is a presence of ring of muscle that is helping to keeping the bladder closed until you go to the toilet. So lastly there are kidneys. Two kidneys, they are about 4 to 5 inches long. The kidney's job is to filter your blood, then ureters that pass out the urine, and then bladder and urethra. And our next topic of discussion will be discussed in next class is the structure of kidney. जैसे कि हमने ह्यूमन एक्सक्रीटरी सिस्टम के बारे में पढ़ चुके हैं, तो नेक्स्ट हम किडनी के स्ट्रक्चर के बारे में देखेंगे, उसमें क्या क्या चीज़ें इन्वॉल्व होती हैं. And this is your homework. Solve the question of exercise page 118. And these are the questions of your exercise. Where are your kidneys located? What does bladder do? Explain how urine is held in your bladder until you go to the toilet. You have to find out the answers of these questions and write on your notebooks. Any questions? If you have any questions, you can ask. So this is all about today's lesson. We have discussed human excretory system. I hope it's clear to all of you. Thank you.